What's up, Manchester? Welcome back to Real Red Sock. This is your Friday afternoon news show. Two more out the door, Mctominay and Jadon Sancho. That is the main topic for today's show. We're going to discuss Manchester United and Ineos planning for the future and the young recruits we've already brought in and what effects they can have on the team potentially in the next couple of years. We're going to do Premier League predictions because, of course, Premier League is back game week 2 this week. Maybe discuss a little bit of FPL as well. And also, will we get an Ugarte? Here we go today is the million-dollar question that nobody knows, apart from people working on the deal, agents, and probably tier 1 sources. So, we are waiting for that inevitable, here we go. Maybe it'll happen whilst I'm live. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll happen at 3 o'clock. Maybe it won't happen today at all. Maybe it'll happen, after the United game. We don't really know at this point. But if I was to, what's going on? Stream's no longer live. Right, this is dead weird. Hello. Are we back? Hello. Let us know, guys, if you're in the chat. Obviously, I'm still live on TikTok, but let me know if the stream is still there. Because I don't... I'll just continue. Yeah, I think we're okay. You're back now, right? Cool. Yeah, God knows what happened there. The stream just completely went off whilst I was mid-flow, which you always love. What a fantastic start to a Friday night show. Friday afternoon show. Jesus Christ. Right. McTominay and Sancho, 2 out the door. Next, United planning for the future. I want to discuss the individuals that they've brought in, why they've brought them in, and what particular role they're going to play within the next couple of years. I'm going to do Premier League predictions, and I'm also going to discuss Ugarte, because we expected here we go today. I still think we're going to get it today. But it could happen over the weekend. It could end up being next week, and we discussed that on the late night live last night. So, McTominay to Napoli is a live deal. Obviously, Napoli need to kind of sell to sanction this. We know this with Victor Osimhen. But if that goes through, it's likely to be 25. Juventus back at the table for Jadon Sancho. We believe they're happy to pay £40 million for him, but they're not happy about the wages. So is that going to be another situation where you talk about severance payments and, Sancho's going to look at it and go, right, I've got 2 years left on my contract. I'm on £350,000 a week, which is, if I do quick math, 752, 1.4 times 10, probably about 15 mil a year, is it? 16 mil a year, maybe a little bit more. That's 30 million quid that you would owe me for me moving to Juventus now. So you see now why it's a difficult deal to do. Juventus might be like, look, we're willing to pay £200,000 a week. But then it's still £150,000 a week that's floating about in the air. And people will criticise Sancho for that, but it's still 150 grand, do you know what I mean, a week, which is 600 grand a month that he'd be losing out on. So that's why these deals are difficult. Sometimes you can sweeten it with bonuses and stuff. But my main point of this story is, and why I'm bringing it up, because one, these are the two potential sales that we could push out. I mean, you've got Lindelof and Hannibal to Burnley potentially, which may be done towards the end of the window. Maybe Eriksen might move on. But these are the two ones that are going to bring you the most cash, right? Jadon Sancho and Scott McTominay. So combined together, you're probably looking at around 65 million quid. Now, who do you go and spend that 65 million quid on? That is the big question. So I'll leave that for you. Just put it in the chat. What I would personally do, sign Rabiot on a free as a rotational option for Kobbie Mainoo. He's going to have high wages, I agree, but as a total package, what is it going to cost to sign Rabiot? 10, 15 million? Something along the lines of that? Probably worth it for an experienced rotational 8. You can kind of switch with Kobbie Mainoo. He brings experience. He's played for France, Juventus, PSG. Been in massive games, semi-finals, finals. And a wealth of experience, and also left-footed, so brings you that more balance as well. And Ten Hag likes him as a player. We know that for a fact. We know Rabiot's interested in the move to the Premier League, and he's still about on the market currently. So maybe that is something that you may see towards the end of the window. It's like, oh, but I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. It's just saying it'd be something I'm interested in. I do like him, but it was very hot on the radar at the start of the summer, and then it really fizzled out. So I mean, you had journalists saying it's basically he's turned down Liverpool, rejected Liverpool to join us, and all this kind of shit. You're like, I'm not sure about that, which is why you shouldn't believe everything you read online, because that is just pure proof, if anything. So then that leaves you with £50 million, and obviously don't forget about the wages that you remove with Sancho as well. So quite a bit of leeway in terms of who do you go and get next. Do you go and buy Ivan Toney? What other kind of other market opportunities are there out there? Let's get some some smart players. Put them in the chat. Let me know. Who do you think? Someone just mentioned Ugarte and Gutierrez from Girona. Then I'm happy. The thing is, I don't see United I don't think United, from again what I've read and what I've listened to, and I've done my due diligence on this. I don't think United are going to spend around 30 million on a left back because they still have Malacia and Shaw. Now, the argument that people will throw back at you is, well, Malacia and Shaw are always injured, but they are still on the books as left backs, and they still have wages coming out of the club every single week. So from a financial standpoint, when they come back, there's going to be people saying, well, he's just sat there on the bench earning this amount of money. What are you going to do with him? Because Ten Hag said ideally you want 2 players for every position. So we have that at the moment. If you bring in, like a Gutierrez, is he going to be what be third choice or even second choice when he's in the Champions League with Girona playing first team football? That's a tricky thing to do. So I don't think they're going to go and spend that amount of money on a left back personally. Then you have other floating options. I mean, Kadioglu's probably in the same category because he's going to cost you around 25 to 30 million quid. Again, great player, versatile, right back, left back. Could probably play in midfield. He's that good in terms of receiving the ball and dribbling and stuff. But will they go and spend that? I'm not sure. Amrabat may be something that they'll look at. But again, there's so many questions and dimensions to this because if Sancho goes, do you then replace him with a winger or do you go buy a striker? Because I think we've got enough wingers. Anthony, Ahmad on the right, Garnacho, Rashford on the left. That's perfect. 2 for each position. But then you've got Xerxes and Højlund as your striker. So do you risk bringing Ivan Toney? Will it upset the balance? Will it upset the harmony? I'm not saying Ivan Toney's coming, by the way, because it's probably likely that he's going to go to Saudi. Because Saudi are willing to pay Brentford what they want, and they're also willing to pay Toney's wages. So I don't see that happening. But I'm saying there's options, because if they sell, they've got to buy someone. Like, they can't just sell him 65 million quid there. I mean, they could do. We can't say anything about it. But I'd be a bit upset if they do a good sale for Sancho, do a good sale for Mctominay, and then they turn around saying, yeah, that's our business done. They're like, hold on, you just sold a player who scored 10 goals last season. Who are you replacing him with? I know Sancho doesn't necessarily play for us, but it's still a player that's there, that was on a big chunk of money that you got decent money for. Let's reinvest that smartly, and let's go get another player. That's what I think we should do. But let's see what we're saying in the comments, people. Sean saying if we give McTominay a new contract instead of moving him on, I'm struggling to understand what's changed at the club of Ineos. Same old mistakes being made. Hope you're well, Nick. Thank you very much, Dan. Hope you're good, mate. People having conversations. Rabiot is streets ahead of Amrabat. Yeah, I'd probably agree. Yes, Nick, get rid of Sancho. I agree with you. But Scott, if Napoli don't have the money, keep Scott. Get Amrabat and a left back, our striker for Tony. Afternoon all, I agree. Sean, Rabiot is much better than Amrabat. I wouldn't bother with Tony, says some people. Sancho's good in Bundesliga, not the Prem. But that's what I mean. He could, go out to Juventus, go out to the Italian League and go find where you're going to be appreciated, where a coach is going to get the best out of you. Because it's not going to happen at United, is it? You're not even in the squad. You're not making the matchday squads. And this is a £72 million winger that we're talking about. It's mad, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. So keep an eye on them 2 deals. Again, they're ones. I think Uarte's more imminent. So that'll happen in the next couple of days. I think Scott and Sancho end the window if it happens. I'm still very pessimistic that they will. I don't see him necessarily going through. I think Scott will probably end up staying because I can't speak. Napoli are going to sell Victor Osimhen. That was the big thing. If they bring in 100 mil or whatever, if Chelsea get a loan with obligation, which is maybe it could happen, then they will use some of that money to get McTominay. But apparently Conte's already getting frustrated. Just started a new job at Napoli and he's already getting pissed off with movement on deals and transfer windows and blah, blah, blah. Marcus Lamb says, you defo won the transfer window. If we get Ugarte, yeah, that's a great point, that. Have we won the transfer window? Have United done the best this summer, do we think? I think Arsenal have done okay. In terms of individual signing, I think Calafiore is a really good signing for them. I think Marino's a really good signing for them as well. And they've done well on outgoings, on a couple of the outgoings. Smith Rowe and Nketiah looks like he could be going to Nottingham Forest. I think West Ham, on paper, looks really, really good. Fulkrug, Somerville, Max Kilman, Rodriguez, Wan-Bissaka. They've got a good window. Aston Villa brought in a couple of good signings. And it's probably a couple that have gone under the radar. I think Ipswich business has been fantastic, by the way. That's people will look at players like Delap or the player they just signed from what's his name? From Sunderland. They just signed someone for like 20 mil. Like a lot of the business they're doing, and they're signing Amanda Broja, who I've always rated. Not as like a top striker, but I've rated him just as a player, and I think he'll do well at Ipswich. They just signed him as well. I think Ipswich have done Jack Clark. Thank you, Cobby. Yeah, I think they've done good business. Ipswich. They've really gone under the radar. I'm excited to see how they crack on this season. I mean, they've had a very tough start. Liverpool, and then Man City next game. That could be a dick in if they're not careful. If they try press the way they did, which they probably will against Liverpool. So if you've got Haaland in your FPL. And that is something I would definitely keep an eye on. But whilst we're talking about players and talent and transfers and good business, I think United have actually done some good business also that's gone under the radar. You look at some of the youngsters that we've bought, we're absolutely planning for the future. Chido Obi Martin, in from Arsenal. Top goal scorer in the league for the under-18s, I believe. Scored 10 against Liverpool in a single game. You know, highly touted. Arsenal really want to keep hold of him. Sorry, a lot of other clubs interested. United swoop in. Bosh, get that deal done. 16 years old, looks very, very promising. Striker, very tall. I've just been talking about Osman, similar to Osman in that respect in terms of a comparison. Shea Lacey's another talented individual. I think he's had an injury recently, so I've not really seen much of him. Harry Amas, we saw him pre-season. Definitely talented. A lot of people at the club are huge fans of him, but they don't think he's ready just yet to go into the Premier League. So that could be a process one. You've got Sekou Kone. We got Here We Go on yesterday, a Mali international born in 2006. Again, people describing him as like a mini Casado. Some people saying Pogba, which will ring alarm bells in people's ears. But he's got that stature, that Yaya Toure kind of physical presence, but also nimble with the ball as well. So he looks like a good purchase, and that definitely stinks of like a Christopher Favelli signing. He's been brought in for talent ID and recruitment, and yeah, you can see the type of players that we're bringing in a minute. Like, it excites you. Lenny Oro, obviously a costly one, 50 million quid, but he looks like he's probably the best centre-back, the best 18-year-old centre-back on the planet. I'd go as far to say. Kobe Mainu, 19, we know the script with him. Alejandro Garnacho, 20. We know the script with them too. You know, the stars of their ceiling in that respect. And then you got Toby Collier as well, who's older than all the players that I've just mentioned at 20. But you've watched him and he can handle himself in certain games. So maybe he'll come in more as a squad player. But the point is, we're finally buying players and investing in more youth and picking up gems from around Europe. Because what would happen in previous windows is you'd see these kind of signings like Brighton making them, or who's really good at recruitment? I don't know. You always see Dortmund doing it, for example, or Leipzig getting these talents like Haaland, or Salzburg Haaland, wasn't it, I think? But yeah, like fucking Sesko and Kunku, bringing them in. The players never heard of him before. Like N'Golo Kante got bought from like a League 3 French team, I think, for like fucking £300,000 or £500,000. People might look at him and go, well, they're not the star signing. But if they turn out to be the player that we think they're going to be, £1.2 million worth of investment in Sekou Kone's case, it's absolutely worth it, isn't it? And then down the line, even if you don't make it, but he's still a relatively good player, or you don't suit a certain system, you sell him for 20 million. It's pure profit. So it's just thinking about the future financially, and just as a squad growing and moving forward. It's just logical and makes sense. There's so many things that Ineos are doing at the minute where you're like, yeah, why have we not done this for ages? Very, very bizarre. I wouldn't mind Tapsoba for almost half the price, but then he's not Prem proven. But we've got enough centre-backs now, so we ain't going to sign any more. We've got DeLitt, Maguire, Lissandro, and Yoro, and Johnny Evans as backup, so there won't be no more centre-backs coming through the door. So yeah, make of that what you will. Okay, back to you lovely people in the comments. By the way, Sean, bone to pick with you. You didn't tell me how your date went. Or maybe you did, or I missed a comment, so let me know how that went. Very intrigued to know. Andy Williams, Eric Ten Hag could be in a sticky situation after the Liverpool game, and getting Ugarte ain't the answer. So are you saying, Andy, you don't think Ugarte is the answer? And in which case, tell me why. Because I've seen a few people say that, and you know, and I know he's got certain flaws in his game, and I know some people, like Paul Scholes was talking about on the fan debate, he was saying, I want someone who's got a football brain and can control the game. But the way we're playing tactically, Ten Hag doesn't want to do that. That's why we didn't go for Zubimendi necessarily. So yeah, but yeah, like Moroni just said there, Ugarte reminds me of a young Mascherano, Kante, What was the other name that I heard mentioned? It was 3 names: Mascherano, Kante, and Gattuso. Sorry, that was the other name. True Dan. Sorry, that's just a thing. Yeah. So where is the Ugarte deal? Here we go. Yesterday, always giving us fake information. Who's giving you fake information? How am I giving you fake information? I've literally not even mentioned. I've not even put Ugarte in the title or on the thumbnail or anything like that. So you've got a chip on your shoulder, mate. You need to sort it out. Ugarte is the same as Casemiro dives into tax, going to leave us. And also, in fact, Robert, if you don't want to watch, mate, why are you tuning in and why are you commenting? Just don't watch the show. Simple. Some people, honestly, so bitter. Put some lemons in your gob, Robert. Lascelles, a talented winger we signed but never gets mentioned. Yeah, from Crystal Palace as well. Yeah, apologies, I've not even mentioned him. Very, stupid of me. I should have put his name in the thing. I think that's because it happened at the same time as Chido Obi Martin. So it kind of went under the radar, didn't it? But yeah, another talented winger, of course. Kante came from 2nd Division French club. Yeah, some people being very pedantic in the chat today. Wait and see Eric Ten Hag's performance at away ground. I reckon we could lose to Brighton. But Brighton are good going forward. They have a very fluid front four. They have talented players, but they made a lot of mistakes against Everton as well. Everton should have scored, and they could convert them chances, and maybe we'll have the same conversation after the Brighton game. But yeah, I did, and maybe Sam replied in the comments for a video. It went well, mate. Why do you think I was MIA for a few days worth of videos? Well, that's nice to hear. If you're happy, Sean, I'm happy. I think we had our best transfer window in many years. That's all that matters. Yeah, I think so. I think, look, Xerxes, Euro for starters was a big one, wasn't it? That was one that no one expected from the fan base for us to get done. Everyone was just like, what on earth's going on here? No way we kind of poached him from Real Madrid. Crazy. Paid decent money, but I think another one would definitely be worth it. Then Xerxes, looks like he's heading to AC Milan. AC Milan are favourites. We come in, bing, bang, bosh. We'll pay the agent fees because his actual fees relatively low. So we could get, we'll pay 40 mil. That's not a problem. And then De Ligt and Mazraoui together were ones that we needed. Branthwaite, Everton were pushing out saying 75 million. We're like, nah, we're not paying that. No chance. We'll go and get De Ligt for almost half the price. So when you talk about market opportunities, and also when people tell you, rival fans will tell you this season, it's another player that Eric Ten Hag's worked with. He's Dutch and blah 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 and blah it makes you want to throw up. United have been identifying De Ligt for years, for the past 7 years or something ridiculous. They've kept an eye on him for a long time, and they thought about making moves for him. But when Juventus have been in a better position, so it's not necessarily to do with Ten Hag. They fixed the profile of 25 and under. The experience that he's got, and you talk about market opportunities, 38 million quid for De Ligt is mint. I don't care what anyone says. That's really, really good bit of business. And then Mazraoui, as you've already seen, I thought he looked really, really good in the last game. It's only one. It's early to judge, but 15 million quid, even if he, in the next couple of games, if he just averages performances, it's not the end of the world, is it? I mean, we spent 15 million quid on Dan James and sold him for 30. So I'm happy with that. And then I think Ugarte is the cherry on top. And I think Ugarte is arguably... The centre-back position was the most important for me. And then, yeah, centre midfielder, defensive midfielder, Ugarte. But I've spoken about extensively. I'm excited about him and how he could work with Casemiro and what I'd expect. So I'm not going to dive into that too much. But I'm happy with the window. I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Easily. Dino talks football. Afternoon, pal. Good afternoon, mate. Kidos says Ugarte. Just one word. Ugarte. Ugarte is a quality player. His stats are really good, Nick, and the team are quality, and this channel is too. So are the other people in the chat. It's very nice of you. Daddy soon. George Tomo. Hey, buddy. Hey, bud. How we doing, pal? Right, what are we going on to next? Premier League predictions. Get yours in. I'm going to go through the games now. So Saturday, Sunday, no Monday Night Football this week. But obviously United is the early kickoff, which we've already done the preview for and which you've not seen. And make sure you go check it out. Brighton versus Man United. I think what did I put? 2-2. I can see goals galore, end-to-end, transitional game. We take some of our chances, they take some of theirs. Maybe it'll be a 2-1 United. But I think 2-1, 2-2 is what I'm going to go with for that. So let us know your predictions in the chat for the Brighton and United game. Then at 3 o'clock kickoffs, we've got Palace versus West Ham, Fulham versus Leicester, City versus Ipswich, Southampton versus Forest, and Spurs versus Everton. Palace versus West Ham. Obviously, West Ham lost their opening game against Villa. Very competitive. Palace also lost theirs as well. So both will be looking for 3 points. Palace at Selhurst Park. Oh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I think Palace are losing Joachim Anderson as well. So they've lost Elise. They've lost Anderson. They could lose Gay. They're being really picked apart. Of course, they still have players like Eze and Mateta. I'll go with draw in that one. Palace and West Ham for a draw. 1-1. Fulham versus Leicester. Again, Fulham brought in Sanderberg. I don't know if he's going to be ready or not. Sanderturd, sorry, pronounced his name wrong. They've also, they're going for Anderson, but I don't think he's through the door. Leicester looked out. I mean, Tottenham created a lot of chances against them on Monday night, but I'll go with, it's a tough one, this. I don't know. I think that could be another draw. It's turned into an IKEA predictions, isn't it? Just draws everywhere. I'll say Fulham Leicester draw as well. I think City spank Ipswich 3 or 4-0. Could easily see that. Southampton versus Forest. I'm going to go for a surprise Southampton win, I think, at St Mary's. Crowd will be behind him. I do like the coach, Russell Martin. I think they'll just nick a win, like a scruffy win. And then Spurs versus Everton. Everton surprised me. I mean, I had Pickford and Tarkowski in my FPL team because I thought clean sheets galore. They had some of the most clean sheets last season. Very resilient defensively, but just couldn't score goals. And then Brighton scored 3 against them. You're like, oh, shit, maybe I should change some of them. But I think just because I think Spurs look really good on the attack, Everton can't convert the chances. I'll go with a 2-0 win for Spurs. Then you have the 5:30 game, which is one of the highlights of the weekend. I think Villa versus Arsenal for obvious reasons. Beat them twice last season. Unai Emery, against his old team that he used to coach. So that one, again, I think Arsenal winning. I think they're just too good. They're going right to the top this season. And defensively, they're so good. Havertz looks like he's flowing already. Saka looks like he is. Odegaard's a top player. So, yeah, I think I'll go Arsenal 2-1. Even at Villa Park. Moving on to Sunday, Bournemouth versus Newcastle. Newcastle 2-0. Yep. Nice and easy. Wolves versus Chelsea. Oh, God. You know what? A lot of people were slandering Wolves for the way they played against Arsenal. I actually didn't think it was too bad. Again, I don't know. I thought it was all right. I think Gary O'Neill's a very good coach. I like the way he sets his teams up. But against Chelsea, it's a tricky one. Enzo Maresca, Wolves. What do we think about that one? I can't decide on that one. Thank you for the gift whoever just sent that. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, so talk to me, people. Wolves versus Chelsea. I actually can't make a prediction on that. Don't know. What are we saying? Let's read out some of these predictions. Chivy saying we're beating Brighton. Check out all bets in GC when you can for United. Oh, in the chat. One thing that'll come from Ugarte signing is this. He'll top the charts on one stat, every stat collecting platform. The dribbled pass stat for both percentile and per 90 in the top 5 leagues. 3-1 tomorrow to United. That's from Sean. United with a Y. 1 second. Nick, how's your hay fever? It's all right at the minute. I did get them tablets though that he was on about. I've not took one today, so I'll just see how my hay fever goes. Come on, Villa, says Chivy. Newcastle 3-0, says Dan Fenton. Richard, when is Nick going to make you and me mods? Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that over the weekend. If you come and join me for the watch along, we'll see. We'll test not the loyalty, because he's tuning to every show anyway, but we'll test the waters with that. And we'll see. I'll do it on the watch along because there's plenty of things. I'm here for 3 hours tomorrow from 11:30. So if you come and join me in there, then we'll discuss that kind of stuff. Thoughts on Sekou Kone? Watched him at Under-17 World Cup and he balled out. Will be a top player. Yeah, I kind of brushed on it earlier before the players that United are bringing in at the moment. Look, I can't lie. I never heard of the player before he joined. Never even heard of him ever. Mali International 2006. Watch clips of him, but clips don't tell you necessarily the full story. From what I've seen, remind me a little bit of Yaya Toure, to be honest with you. Yaya Toure, Paul Pogba, that kind of, big stature but nimble with the ball at his feet. Yeah, could turn out to be a top talent, but you don't know, do you? It's very, very early stages, so I can't specifically give, a full breakdown of the player. He's very young, so our new Mali midfielder is absolutely quality. So people seem to be huge fans of it. I know one thing. So I follow a quick plug for him here. I don't even know the guy, but I follow Academy Scoop on X. Some of you might follow him as well. And when it comes to academy players, especially coming to United, he's very, very good and he knows his shit. And when he heard that we were signing this Kone, he was like, "Oh my god, yeah, absolute top bit of business, buzzing." So I trust his opinion than the majority of people when it comes to academy players. So if he's a huge fan, I'm sure he's a top talent. So yeah, right, back to the Wolves one anyway. Dan saying 2-1 Wolves. Sean saying Wolves to beat Chelsea. I really don't know. Really don't know. What are we seeing in TikTok? Oh wow, that player reminds you of just one type of person. I said Torre. I said Paul Pogba. That's 2 people. I don't know if you can count. Maybe you've only got 1 finger. Are people on smoke this morning? I don't get what's going on. What is, like, honestly, it's never ever YouTube either. Everyone in YouTube is always lovely, polite, conversational, give great opinions, smart opinions, and want to push the conversation. People in TikTok just go, you said this, and I don't think that's right. I think this. Like, come on, man. Fucking, like, if you don't want to watch, don't fucking watch. Simple as that. Turn off your TikTok or turn off your fucking YouTube and don't watch. Because I'm happy. There are plenty of people there who are happy to discuss actual football and make relevant, decent points rather than snotty-nosed kids who just fucking want attention and crying out on comments. Genuinely. I'm literally going to stop doing TikToks because it's just full of fucking idiots. Honestly. Right, anyway. Last story. I'm sure Robert, if he's still in the chat, is going to be happy about this. He's saying I'm clickbaiting Ugarte when I'm not even fucking mentioning him on the title or on the thumbnail. But I read something before that just made me laugh, and this was from United People's TV, so Sam Peoples, and he was like, breaking, Manuel Ugarte is now close, fuck it, Aussie coming out of me there, close, Martin, mate, you're still watching, pal, so you're giving me engagement, so keep commenting, thank you. Right, Manuel Ugarte is now so close to joining Manchester United, you can almost taste it. There's a Uruguayan whiff in the air. It's palpable. It can't get any closer. It's as close can be. Nothing has ever been so close. It's touching cloth. It's that close. That's the update there for you on Ugarte. I'm not gonna discuss any recent ones. I thought that was fucking hilarious. That's because it just seems in it everything's done. Romano keeps tweeting eye emojis and sand timer emojis and da. It's gonna be done. It's going to be done. I think we're going to end up going live after this show, probably in like 3 hours, or maybe around 5-6 o'clock, I'd say, to discuss it. So yeah. Alex has said, "I may be an idiot, sir, but there's one thing I am not, sir, and that is an idiot." George saying, "Opinions like arseholes, everyone's got one." There we go. Couldn't have said it better myself, mate. TikTok is full of angst-ridden teens. That's from Sean. Show some respect. I'm the last survivor of the Titanic. That's from Richard. It's been 84 years. The Ugarte deal takes Edge into a whole new level. It's crazy, isn't it? It is crazy. Would you take Ben Chilwell? I would rather take... let me think of things I would rather do than Ben Chilwell. I'd rather bath in strawberry jam. I'd rather wipe my ass with sandpaper. I'd rather do laps around the Trafford Centre bullet naked. I'd rather purposely stub my toe on solid wood. I would rather let my cat claw my eye out. They're the things I would rather do than sign Ben Chilwell. So hopefully that can answer your question. Sorry. Would you take Sterling? I can go through the same things I've just been through. Absolutely not. Sterling, £300,000 a week. Can't get in Chelsea's team. Why the fuck would we want him? We've got wingers. We've got our own winger dilemma. We're trying to get rid of Sancho. If we get rid of Sancho, bring Sterling. You just got another fucking problem. The fact is, he's just a little bit older. Crazy. Ineos cooking, Nick. Looking to the future with Kone and Obi Martin. Yes, sir. No, I'd rather have King Kong Burger Me than have Ben Chilwell. Okay. I'd rather stand on a plug than sign Chilwell. Yeah, let's get some I'd rathers. The funniest one, I'll pin the comment. Let's get some rathers in the chat. Do you think, community, what would you rather do than sign Ben Chilwell? And try not to go too, like, you know, I don't want to get cancelled. But get it in the comments. And please do smash like on the video. We're 14 subs of 6,600. But according to someone on TikTok, no one gives a shit. So 6,600 subs, 14 off. If you get that subscribe button, if you're not already, I know the majority of you are. And leave a like on the video. That'd be absolutely incredible. Just let us know you enjoyed the show. And you enjoy interacting. I'd rather play Amas there. Yeah. I mean, that's not like a comical one, but I actually agree. I probably would. Rabiot on a free would be a great bit of business as long as he stops being a mummy's boy. Yeah, I agree. I said that earlier on. I do like Rabiot as a player. Keep an eye on that towards the end of the window. If not, he'll probably end up going Saudi or Qatar, I'd imagine. I'd rather swallow an Avo Pip whole than sign Chilwell. And that is a chunky Pip. They're like that size, aren't they? I mean, people who are just tuning in are like, what's going on here? Avocado Pips are absolutely massive. So, Dramatic Avocado, who's, you know, if I'm trusting anyone's opinion on avocados, it's probably Dramatic Avocado. I reckon he's pretty in the know about avocados. So, yeah, top stuff there. Rather have BB play our main striker than Ben Chilwell. Who's BB? Or do you mean Bebe? Maybe. A little reference there to an old school United player. Do you remember Bebe? Jesus Christ. Chilwell can chill well away from United. So as you can see, the general consensus is I think the majority of people don't want Chilwell. You bring in another injured left back. He's got a worse injury record than Shaw. So it's like playing roulette with English left backs as well. I don't know what we're going to do, to be honest, going forward. I don't know who's going to be England's left back when we go into the World Cup. I think that's an interesting point. Maybe we'll have one coming up through the ranks. I don't know. Maybe there's someone I'm forgetting. Rocket to Summer says, I reckon Chilwell is fine on loan for one season and then address the left-back position next summer with a bigger signing. That'll be first choice. Can't fix everything permanently in one summer. I just don't think United are going to bring in a left-back. I mean, the Athletic have reported that extensively. They're not going to do it. So, people might not like that, but it ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. And I just wouldn't. Yeah. Nick, I enjoyed your Gordon Ramsay impression. Big boy. That's the only thing I can do, though, with Gordon Ramsay. Has anyone seen the Jurassic Park trailer with Gordon Ramsay? Sorry, going off on a bit of a tangent here. But when they put the voiceover of Gordon Ramsay just on every dinosaur. So, like, when the T-Rex at the end, when he, like, stands up and he's thinking and he's, like, fucking screaming, it just goes, roar! And every dinosaur, like, Velociraptors, roar! Fucking hilarious if anyone hasn't seen it. Come here, big boy. You, come here. What the fuck is that? I need to work on my Gordon Ramsay impression. It's fucking raw! So, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm a man of many talents. Football, impersonations, FIFA. And that's probably it. So, I'm a man of 3 talents. Nick, I can cook. Okay. Right, this chat's going absolutely west now. I'm gonna leave it at that. You know the crack, guys. If something breaks on Ugarte, make sure you be here sharp and square and turn on the notification bell because I will go live straight away. Apart from that, we'll be back at 7. Oh, yeah, actually, I need you to do something. So, someone kept mentioning it. I'm not going to go just yet. I actually need to mention this. Send your voice notes into the email. So, there's quite a few of you in the chat in a minute. We're going to do this tonight for a show, but we need enough of you to send it in so we can react to him, okay? 3 out of 10 for that one. Is it? Oi, big boy, come here. Come here, big boy. Yeah, I don't know. RealRedsTalk99 at gmail.com. Right, so I'll pin that there, if it's going to let me. That email there, send a voice note. Anyone on TikTok can do it as well. RealRedsTalk99 at gmail.com. Send a hot take either on the Premier League or on Manchester United or anything like that. And if anyone doesn't know how to do it, like Richard said, he was born, you know, after the Titanic. So I appreciate some people might not be as swift with technology. Just record it on your phone. You can go and all of us will react to it. Controversial takes or hot takes or, you know, just anything. Anything you think, you know what, I think about. You know, someone just put it in one in the chat there about, you know, I take Sterling. Anything along the lines of that is absolutely fine. So, yeah. People, work your magic. Do you think? Inbox, email, realredstock99 at gmail, or send us a DM. And there's going to be a couple people I know as well that are going to send in some. So, yeah, going to be really, really fun to react to that. And, yeah, hopefully we'll get a few in. Yeah, quick time, what's happened. Well, basically, we discussed. I'll give you a very, very quick rundown. We spoke about Mctominay and Sancho probably more likely to happen towards the end of the window and what we can do with that money. We discussed the young players in Chido, Obi Martin, Kone, who's just come through, Yoro, Garnacho, Kobe, Ineos planning for the future, and we did Premier League predictions as well and touched a little bit on the Ugarte deal. So yeah, hopefully that's a quick roundup for you. But get those voice notes in and tune in tonight because we're going to react to him. Yeah, I'll see you in the next.